Bullets kill, and so do bullet points, sucking the life out of audiences who stare like zombies into the abyss of the gray and heartless projection screen, while a mummy-like speaker recites mind-numbing paragraphs of text. I'm Kevin Lerner of the presentation team, and as the cool autumn winds blow, let's open the crypt of 10 of the world's scariest presentations, and share a few magical potions to bring them back to life. Is it a car, or is it an essay? This full-screen muted photo of a Lamborghini is cluttered by 5 sentences of text explaining the definition of a car. The audience doesn't know whether to look at the car, the text, or the speaker, or simply to look away in fright. A fundamental fix is to eliminate the text completely, let the speaker talk about it, and create 2 slides. Slide number 1 features a simpler image of the car, a Lamborghini, while the speaker shares a basic definition as explained in paragraph 1. Slide 2 now features an illustration of the basic components of the car, as explained in paragraph 2. If the speaker didn't want to eliminate the text entirely, the photos could be pushed off to the left, with the text offset on the right. Strong brand, scary slide. Hopefully, this company's business strategy is a lot better than their presentations. In the early days of PowerPoint, someone actually created this curdling mix of arrows, text, and a target to explain how 10 elements could target key audiences. And granted, this slide is nearly 15 years old and created long before the ease of smart art graphics. This was actually one of my very first slide redesigns, and I saw the immediate need to simplify and minimize. I started by working to create a simple template using the company's brand colors of red and black, and in the center I placed a photo of an actual bullseye. Around the bullseye, instead of those angry arrows, I worked in Photoshop to create iconic ovals of graphics with text superimposed. The slide's text and message remain the same. A potpourri of praise. This potpourri of praise may turn a few heads away. Letters of reference can be helpful in winning a project, but cramming them all into one slide is hardly helpful when showcasing success. This construction company's slide features a mauve-purple gradient background blended with a faded group of schoolgirls. 2 recommendation letters in opposite corners are impossible to read, and so they're transcribed in text. Times New Roman font is hard to read, even with the font and the colors emphasized in yellow. The skinny arrows connecting the letters to the text are meaningless. In the redesign of this reference slide, we scanned the actual letters and placed them on 2 separate pages, angled for depth and improved positioning. A magnified section of the letter showcased the key phrase or message, eliminating the need for manually entered key text. Bombs bursting in air. This speaker was hell-bent on grabbing his audience's attention. His stark black background was juxtaposed against a fireworks explosion and an outdated restaurant. The blood-red text with yellow shadows made the audience feel as if they were in a McDonald's war zone. Taming this terror is relatively simple. A quick fix is applying a light beige gradient and inserting a photo of a restaurant with an angled picture style effect. The text becomes black and moves to the top of the slide with keywords emphasized in green. Another approach to subdue the shriek of this slide is to deviate from the template entirely and fill the background with a full page of a restaurant interior. In Photoshop or PowerPoint, we use the image blur and desaturation effects. The message is now more prominent and dominant, with the critical inside the 4 walls message showcased with a 3D text effect to demonstrate and illustrate depth and dimension. Toxic snake, toxic slide. Like the venomous viper snake, this slide for Veterans in Pursuit of Educational Readiness, or VIPER, it's a program for the Warren County Community College, It's also toxic, teeming with text and pouring over with patriotism. The 3 key bullets on this slide are little more than a script for the speaker or a handout for the audience. A refreshing redesign on the slide splits the 3 bullets into 3 separate pages. The patriotic flair is now conveyed in a subdued red and blue bottom arc that was created in Photoshop and then set against a sandy white textured gradient background. The Viper logo is integrated in the top right, and 3 squares of academic images carry the iconic military academic theme. 3 slides now feature a prominent image of a student or service member, providing an ardent amount of breathing space. As boring as the subject. This insurance company's gloomy slide might as well feature a decrepit homeless person. The ominous navy background with its heavy black text against a fuzzy pie chart does little to inspire someone to purchase the plan, and the red text sends a subconscious message of warning. This presentation's redesign is a breath of fresh air. A light and flowing green and white background features a subtle element from the company's logo. All 4 major bullets have been converted to iconic graphics that feature bold white text with a black border and shadow. Scary surgery and scary slide. Blood tests and surgery can be frightening, and so is the uninspired layout of this slide. 5 unequally sized rectangles, all linked by anemic arrows to an oval in the middle, showcase the role of diagnostic testing. The images are busy and hard to see, as are the tiny aerial sub-headlines, and the flat blue background may even put the audience in a trance. The redesigned PowerPoint slide features 5 equally sized rounded rectangles with clear dominant image defined by larger sized subheadlines in Calibri. A transparent clip PNG graphic of a scientist on the bottom left sends a message for the entire slide of science and medicine. The background is textured with an angled line image from Crystal Graphics that's edited in Photoshop. A white rectangle block at the top adds contrast and provides space for a concise title and logo. NSA security breach revealed holes in PowerPoint design. There were many harrowing things about the National Security Association Prism leak, but to Paris-based designer Emilien Delcober, the most horrible revelation was how awful their PowerPoint was. Breaking nearly every fundamental rule of presentation design, blended pastel colors, tiny type, and overwhelming amounts of information on its plain white background. Delcober stepped up and redesigned several Prism slides. His philanthropic feat was showcased in Fast Company magazine, as well as digitaltrends.com. Simply complex. This PowerPoint slide is the winner of the InFocus 2011 Worst Slide Contest. It features a mix of text, headlines, arrows, schematics, and directions. Normally, a viewer could grasp the core message of the slide, but this complex and convoluted message spooks the audience. Even if we could understand what this slide's core message was about, the slide could be split into at least 3 or 4 separate pages. A textured background, a clean and simple headline, and plenty of white space would help simplify the core message and make the presentation more pleasing. The enemy is PowerPoint. Featured in the New York Times in 2010, this PowerPoint slide became a catalyst for change in the presentation industry. Designed to portray the complexity of the American military strategy in Kabul, Afghanistan, this scary PowerPoint slide prompted General Stanley McChrystal to wryly remark, "When we understand that slide, we will have won the war." This slide demonstrates the mind-numbing strategy of PowerPoint and encourages many to think outside the box and create more dynamic and compelling messages. And so the next time you see an ugly presentation, consider these opportunities to rise them from the dead. I'm Kevin Lerner of the Presentation Team.